again.
It's nice to see you too.
Glad you could make it today.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for asking. So what brings you in here today?
Well, I've just been having a hard time with my boyfriend, like I've said in the previous time we saw each other.
So nothing got better in that situation?
No, not at all. I feel like it's gotten actually worse.
And by worse, what do you mean?
Well, I tried doing a few things that you've mentioned and trying getting down to the bottom of things, but he seems like it doesn't matter to him. He tries pushing it under the bridge and he just doesn't care, it seems.
So tell me what he's actually doing. Like when you say he's pushing things under the bridge.
Well, we'd have an argument and I'd tell him, like, see, this is why we aren't working it out, because like you always try to just get rid of it. He never actually has a conversation with me. He just wants to get right back to his games. He always just wanted to go right back to his virtual friends and not his real life.
So that has to be pretty demeaning for you. Like, how do you feel when you're being ignored or...
Well, I feel very frustrated because he isn't taking our problem seriously. He's not fully understanding what's upsetting me and what it takes to actually work it out. He doesn't want to try, and when he's ignoring me with his friends, it's kind of rude, in my opinion. It's very rude.
It's very rude. Is there a certain reason you think he's avoiding you? Like, is this his natural thing? Does he always avoid contact with you when it's not a good kind of contact?
Yeah, he always tries to keep his space and never really engages with me or even tries to show that he cares or it matters. He always has seemed to have that space when it's a frustrating or hard time between our relationship.
And why do you think he spaces himself from you?
Well, in his past, he has had people leave him when he was younger. So maybe with that space, he has kind of like a barrier so he wouldn't get hurt.
By people, do you mean like a parent or like an ex-girlfriend that he still feels for, or?
Well, what I'm talking about is his mom. His mom has definitely not been there for a lot of his childhood, and it really impacted him, and his dad was never there. He never showed up for anything. His mom never let him see his dad. It's probably, I feel like he's not wanting to engage because he doesn't really know how to. His parents never showed him. He probably wants to build up a barrier so he doesn't get hurt.
So what is your plan? Like, is counseling, are you wanting to go through the counseling? Are you feeling like it's just done, you can't do it anymore?
I feel like our relationship is very done because we're just going to keep stacking up problems until one of us explodes again.
What's keeping you from leaving him?
Well, he's always said that if I leave, then he's going to kill himself or harm himself in some way. And it's like he's trying to guilt me to stay with him.
So he manipulates you?
He's very manipulative. He definitely has done this more than just once. I tried leaving him a while back. I think I may have told you about it. But he always tries to say he's going to kill himself or he's going to break something or he's going to do something in some way to make me feel guilty about trying to leave.
And do you think, since you've tried to leave before, that he knows that this manipulation is going to work so that it'll make you stay?
I believe he does think that because I have stayed before after that. I have tried so hard to make sure he's okay, and I do coddle him a lot, and I want to make sure that he's not going to harm himself. I don't want to have someone's death on me because I didn't mean it. I don't want someone to kill themselves because I left.
It wouldn't be your fault if he did. I feel he just manipulates you into thinking that he will kill himself. I don't feel he will actually kill himself, but he knows it will make you stay. and that he can use that against you. He knows your weaknesses.
Mhm.
So I feel that you should leave in a good way.
Sometimes it's hard for me to leave in a good way because last time I tried leaving when he was there and he threatened my brother and his friends, the people who were trying to help me leave. I have a big TV there, I have like multiple clothes that I don't have a suitcase for. I have like books and little knickknacks to put on the shelves.
So it's hard to leave.
Very hard to leave.
And when you say he threatens your family, does he like go right up to them and threaten them, or how does he threaten them?
Well, he stays like a pretty good arm's length away. He's done it in person to them. He's looked at them, but I was between my family and him. So if he tried, he probably could get through me since he's a bigger guy, but I'd always try to stop him and make sure, just in case if he does try it.
So in that state, how do you feel?
I feel very like vulnerable and scared that he's actually going to hurt somebody.
Are you still currently living with him?
Currently, no, because my family did help me get out. We showed up when he was at work and we just grabbed my stuff and I left a note on the table and I tried to leave as fast and efficiently as I can because he would stop me. He would try to stop me.
Of course, yes. And when he realized that you had left, how did he react to that?
He reacted in a very bad manner. I told him that, like on the note, I told him that I do not want him to contact me. I do not want him to show up my house. I will call the cops if he tries. I just want to be left alone. And he came all the way to my house, which is an hour and some away from where we were living together. And he just wouldn't leave my property. And my mom kept telling him, like, you need to leave. She doesn't want to be with you anymore. You need to understand this. And he never got what was wrong in our relationship. He never understood why I left, even though I told him multiple times why I'm leaving. And it seemed like I had to get the cops involved. And yeah.
And what was his reaction to when you called the cops? What did he do?
Well, he seemed like he didn't care very much because he just stayed on my property. The cops told me to go inside on the phone, so I went inside with my family and made sure everyone was safe. I didn't want him hurting anybody, of course, since he threatened my family. And he just stayed until the cops showed up. And for me anyways, I feel like that's odd because wouldn't people want to leave if the cops were called?
Yes, most people would. People in that kind of state, they don't really think about their actions. They just do it. It could be out of spite. It could be realization. Like, he might have realized finally that you actually did, that you were actually gone and you had no more. So people do react like that. That is very common. And now that you have been separated from him, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling like weight has come off my shoulders, that I'm so much more relieved. I'm able to hang out with my friends and I'm able to do so much more than what I was able to before. If I just went to a little town that's half an hour away, he would be so upset before. But now I'm able to do that. I'm able to hang out with my friends. I'm able to have actual socialization, not just one person.
I feel that you feel relieved because you finally have a part of your life back that all makes sense now. You are on the right track to taking back your own life. You can now focus on yourself.
I do feel like I'm on a better path because I do socialize more. I do try to regain those friendships that I have lost because of him. And I am going to school and I'm trying to be a mental health worker for people who have actual issues.
Regaining friendships, meaning, did you lose friends along the way?
Yeah, I did. He made up scenarios and I didn't know which one to believe, and like I never had a good trust for anybody due to past people.
Of course. Well, I'm really glad that you're doing better. I'm finally glad that you got out and that you're safe. It was really good to see you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Take care.
You too.